All right, perfect. Now, in the previous educational video, we went over how to create a trading plan. Again, we first needed to ask a few questions and to determine what type of trader you potentially want to be. Again, will you fully determine what type of trader you want to be straight away? Probably not, right? And you don't need to have the exact answer straight away. So don't worry too much about that as well. Experiment and then see what you like and what you prefer. Now, I wanted to go over a few examples and I wanted to slowly introduce everyone to the different trading plans as well. So I wanted to go over 3 different examples for a flow trading plan, filtering process trading plan, and hybrid trader as well. Now, for a filtering process trading plan, that's usually what I start off with. So in the forecast, you will see me apply a filtering process trading plan, meaning I go over the forecast list right there at the beginning of the week. Then after I go over the crosses as well, I pick out the highest probability pairs and I add them to an interest list right there, short and a long list right there. Now you can see I have 7 pairs right there on my interest list on the day that I actually want to trade. I pick out the highest probability one, and that is the one I will be monitoring. So right here, we can also create a hierarchy again, where we go over Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, we go over Canadian dollar, CHF, which one has new supporting the ID, of course, very important. Filters out already a lot, because I know for a fact that only today we only have GBP, New Zealand dollar for New Zealand dollar news, New Zealand dollar CHF, and New Zealand dollar JPY. So we can put those at the top right there. Then between those 3, we can again see, right, which one is the highest probability. Well, right here, I am of that daily fair value gap right there. See what we're doing. We're coming into that weekly fair value area right there. The daily fair value gap is following through lower. I have this on the long list. Currently does not look that interesting for longs right there. And we failed to create a 4-hour fair value gap higher right there after a sweep of that low. Because then the 2-candle rejection on the weekly is potentially failing after sweeping that previous candle low as well. So this right here is not high on my interest list. New Zealand dollar CHF. Let's see. What are we dealing with? We have a potential daily fair value gap in the making right there, but we have new supporting the ID today. So we could already potentially look at higher price as well. Do we have a new 4-hour fair value gap? Not really. So is there a clear context area we can continue higher from currently? Not really, before we can reach those highs. Now this is also where a hybrid trader comes in. Because let's say a hybrid trader right here wants to get a more detailed view, you can go into the 1 hour to see, all right, do we have 1 hour fair value gaps right there to already support the ID higher? Because then we can simply look to follow through based off of that instead. New Zealand dollar JPY, what are we dealing with right here? We have a huge fair value gap higher right there. That is perfect. Now we are in the middle of creating a potential fair value gap higher as well. So this here could be very interesting. And again, even if you're a hybrid trader, you could even go into the 1 hour, find a 1 hour fair value gap to then continue higher off of that. This is again just a quick introduction, and this is something we will go over actually on Wednesday as well. Now on Friday, we are going to go over a flow trading plan and hybrid trader. And for flow trading plan, the main area or the main asset class where I use a flow trading plan is going to be the indices. It's also going to be crude oil right there. I like those the most for a flow trading plan. Now for ES, what you would want to do if you are looking to trade a flow trading plan, a very simple way to approach this, well, I say simple, but a flow trading plan arguably is a little bit more difficult. And the reason I say it's a little bit more difficult is because you need to pay attention to a lot of details. So there's a lot of things you need to actually pay attention to, where a filtering process can be quite easy because you can just filter out the high probability pairs, the low probability pairs. It makes it all a little bit easier. Flow trading plan, you need to have a good understanding of candle signs, good understanding of order flow. Are we following through? Are we not following through? That will determine the direction we want to trade in. So here, if we just simply mark out previous day high right there and previous day low, closest higher time frame PD rates to which we potentially want to trade towards, then our goal is to trade towards that through a new fair value gap that we have right there. And after we reach that right there, we have to react. So the 1 hour here is really a guide. The 1 hour is our compass, where the 1 hour will determine if we want to continue higher right there after that potential sweep of that high, or if we do indeed want to sweep that to continue lower. That's where the basics really come in of an understanding of a sweep versus a run, candle signs, order flow, So I always mention in a flow trading plan, you need to have a good grasp of the basics essentially. And that, of course, will you get that straight away? You might not have it right now, but that's not a shame. If you want to trade a flow trading plan, then you can just simply practice that. But just know there needs to be very good attention to detail. That is very important because you're trading off the 1 hour right there. And when you're trading off the 1 hour without a clear higher time frame direction, it becomes more important to know what the 1 hour will do and to pay attention to detail. All right, let's see. What are we dealing with right here? I'm a full-time trader struggling since 8 years in crypto forex. I'm thinking on and later NSE, BSE, India. What should I focus on for now? Yeah, I think I'm not too sure, but India, you can't really trade, the forex market, right? But what you can do is the Indian market, and I do like Bank Nifty to be honest, although Bank Nifty and Nifty, etc., they are really at all-time highs. Now for Bank Nifty and Nifty, how I would personally approach it is I would more so be reliant on the drawn liquidity and the overall bias. So here, as mentioned, swing in Indian market. I do like that approach as well because the entries, due to the fair value gaps, due to the way the market forms, etc., are going to be less accurate most of the time. So here, capitalizing on candle signs entries, for example, is going to be really nice. So here, really capitalizing on the drawn liquidity, on that bias, etc., to then, when you have a clear drawn liquidity, get involved based on candle signs instead of waiting for fair value gaps, etc., to trade back into, if that makes sense. I don't trade India, it's my last option. I currently focus on crypto as I have a bit of knowledge on it. Yeah, crypto is also perfectly fine. If you are looking at crypto, I would advise to do something similar. I would advise to focus on a filtering process and potentially turn into a hybrid trader. So what I would advise to do for crypto at first is focus on the higher time frame only. Do we have a clean higher time frame? So can we understand on a good basis what Bitcoin actually wants to do constantly? So for example, here, after taking this high right there, it's showing like it wants to potentially sweep it a little bit. Now, I do still think we want to continue higher, but I simply want to wait for a little bit more confirmation in the form of a 4-hour value gap right there. And if you can use the 4-hour consistently on crypto pairs, then that can be very fruitful, and eventually you can go into the 1 hour, etc. But my advice would be start on the higher time frame of crypto. Let's see. Because sometimes I see news in TradingView that are not in Forex Factory. Are these news relevant? Example, Australian dollar JPY has Australian dollar and JPY news in TradingView, but nothing in Forex Factory this week. Yeah, that's usually why I tend to stick to Forex Factory, because you have a lot of different news outlets, as you may call it. I'm not sure what the word is. And they all show different kinds of news. So my FX book, for example, has their own news labeled as orange folder news, which is just simply not orange folder news because it's not medium impact for a market. It's their own news. So it's always a little bit tricky. That's why I tend to stick to Forex Factory to get a clear idea. As for TradingView itself, I have the economic calendar events turned off. I'm not even too sure where I can turn them on again, but I don't have them turned on right there. So here, for example, you have latest updates. I delete them always. They're not relevant for me. Can you give an example on hybrid? For sure. Let's see if we can go over a few pairs right here, disregarding news, and see if we can find the way hybrid works. Is essentially you have a clear drawn liquidity. So let's see if we can find a clear drawn liquidity. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, we're just continuing higher. We are moving higher quite fast, which is interesting to see. Canadian dollar CHF, not really moving higher as expected right there. So also not that interesting. Euro Canadian dollar right there, practicing some candle signs entries. And this is a good example right here. So at this moment in time, on Euro Canadian dollar right there, what are we doing? We are moving higher. We have a quite clear drawn liquidity, as in we are moving heavily towards that high. Now, at this moment in time, when we are moving heavily towards that high right there, we don't really have any context just yet. But as a hybrid trader, what you can do is you can simply look to already get involved through candle signs, through a different type of context, going into the lower time frame potentially already right there to then get involved based off of that. So essentially, what a difference between a hybrid trader and a filtering process trader is. Filtering process trader, you start the same. Hybrid trader, you just finish the job on the lower time frame. So you are more understanding of, I can also use a flow entry instead of just waiting for 4-hour context all the time to then enter off of that. So that is what essentially a hybrid trader is. Similar to EuroJPY. So you can wait for the 4-hour value gap right there, or already go into the 1 hour or even into the 15 minute to capitalize on the move already right there of the 15 minutes to continue higher off that. That is mainly what a hybrid trader does. Let's see. I'm also from India. Can we expect stock swing trading enrollment after spring enrollment from you? It will be very helpful for us. I am planning that actually on, in the fall. So in October, the end of 2024, that's when I am planning on doing that potentially. On crypto, it will essentially be the same. So crypto is the exact same thing. It's just a different market that I'm looking at. I just started the spring enrollment yesterday, so I'm catching up on previous content from March. Should I just wait for these sessions when I am up to speed? Yes, you can do that. Currently the live sessions, of course, they can be a little bit confusing to you potentially, especially the more advanced ones. So if it helps to not overwhelm you, then you can indeed just wait once you're caught up, and then you can join the live sessions as well. No worries. But you can join them. I don't want you to feel forced to not be able to join them, but it can just be a little bit confusing. So if you tend to notice that it is confusing or it is overwhelming, then just ignore the live sessions for now. See, NQ is close to drawn liquidity. Could see the trade into the 1 hour or overlapping defense. All right, with that being said,